This is the beret we're going to be making today. That all rhymed. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I create vlog and DIY videos for my brand, Friday Knits. So today is going to be a knit along with me for this beret. This is an existing pattern that I have available down below if you want to purchase it. It's the Amelie Beret and it is going to be a slight variation of what's in the written pattern, but I will make those changes within the written pattern as well, so anybody who purchases from today will have that update. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe down below, and you can also follow me on Instagram as well, where I update regularly about things coming up, designs coming up, tests, all those really good things. So I hope you guys like it.
Okay, so to get started, you will need your yarn and your needles. So I'm using the Baby Alpaca by We Are Knitters, and then you'll also need your pattern, which I've got on my computer there. So in the original pattern, it does suggest to use a provisional cast on, but I just decided to use a long tail cast on so that I can join it later. I did that because I know the provisional cast on can be kind of fiddly sometimes, so I'm working my brim a bit longer than it says in the pattern as well. I decided to do that because I was watching Emily in Paris, and I saw her wearing like a beret with a much longer brim, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And so I wanted to just use the pattern I had and then make that. So I'm just switching over needles now so that I can join my cast on edge to my live stitches. And honestly, this is probably a bit easier than a provisional, especially working in the round. I find that it gets really fiddly sometimes if you're trying to do provisional cast on or a provisional joining in the round. And I'm really impatient, and so picking up the stitches is probably an easier option. So that's something else you can do as well if that's what you prefer to do. So when I'm joining, I just literally just pick up the stitches along the edge and just knit them together. And that's it really. Like, you just have to make sure it's not slanted to one side or another, and you just make sure your stitches line up. And then from here it's just exactly as it is in the pattern, and I just kept working it around and around. And I'm just going to show you guys just how to make one if you guys aren't sure. So I just picked up and then I knit it, and then that's it, and you just keep following the pattern in the rounds. And so I just ended up working up on the couch here because I just prefer working here. It's so much easier sometimes than just sitting at my desk. So you can see I measured there, so it was about 8 centimeters before I decided to start my decreases, but I know the pattern is a bit longer, so I would probably do that again because I like the more dramatic look, I guess, in my berets. So that's what I'm going to do next time, I think. And then here I've just worked my pattern, and then I've worked the I-cord at the top. And now I'm going to just lightly seam that in. Yeah, right now it doesn't really look like much. It just looks like a weird little like mushroom hat thing, I would highly suggest blocking this. I use just this wool wash that I've got at the supermarket for like a gentle sort of wash, and then you want to put it under and make sure you get all the fibers. But I didn't soak it, I just put it under and then washed it under the tap for a bit just to get any like soap out, and then I just squeezed out any excess water with a towel, but try not to like wring it or anything because it will stretch and not really come back from being overstretched. So with berets, a lot of people suggest using plates to shape it, but I didn't have a plate that was big enough at all. I used like this really small one, and I had this really big one that was too big, and so I ended up just stretching it out myself. I just laid it flat on the table and I just teased it a bit and made sure that it looked like the beret, and yeah, and then that ended up working really well, and then I just let it dry like that for I think a day or two. It was actually kind of cold, so it took a day or two to dry, but yeah, so that's sort of how it should kind of look, and that's the final results. And you can see the I-cord is useful for creating the shape for it. The part that sort of like hangs down, that's the part where I would make more increases, or I'd work a bit longer just so I can have a bit more dramatic, but overall I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So thanks for watching, guys.